Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shanth Enjeti Art, and welcome to the Speakeasy Inspiration Preserve. I am here with the lovely Mrs. Enjeti, and we're going to be doing some figure drawing on this wonderful Friday night. This is the second episode of this show. There is no windstorm, so things are going incredibly well. Let's see who we've got here in the chat. We have got some channel members already here in the chat, so let's see who we have. We, of course, have Stephen Rockwood Drawing, as always. He is the first channel member. And yes, you are correct. I will be outshined, Stephen Rockwood Drawing. We have got General Piggy. Hail, General Piggy. And I love that icon. I know I say it all of the time. Let's see who else we've got here. We have got Cranberry Langers. I saw you in here somewhere. Hail, channel member Cranberry Langers. And let's see, who else have I got? I want to make sure I get all of my crazy channel members in here. All right. Did I get all of you guys? Excellent. We, of course, have got John here in the house. It's good to see you, John. We've got Joseph Dredd here in the house. American Comics Company. You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. We have got, did I get Citizen Ronan already? Well, I'll get him again. I can do it twice because he's so nice. John kicking ass in here. It's good to see you, my friend. Let's see who else have we got here. Blackjack, it is great to see you. Hail CG indeed. And hail Mrs. Enjeti, of course. We have got Jay Lee in the house. Check out the Steins on Indiegogo. We have got Lord Ravener in the house, who I am putting together a very special box of goodies to send his way. It's for Valentine's Day, perhaps? You never know. Timmy Mello, my man, in the house. It is always great to see you, Timmy Mello. I hope you are doing well, and you guys are having a wonderfully creative Friday and afternoon. We like to kick things back here, be a little bit chill, enjoy ourselves on a fine Friday. Do let me know if anybody pops into this chat and says hello, and I miss them. But it's unlikely. It's unlikely. And let's get started talking about what we're here to do. Working with a little bit of purple. We've got a model here, and we are drawing. Mrs. Enjeti, what are you working on?
I am painting from a photograph.
Excellent.
Unfortunately not taken by me.
Oh, it's all right. It's allowed.
Because I prefer to work from my own reference. But
there you go.
I didn't have time to take any this week, so I'm painting from a picture.
You heard it here first. Mrs. Enjeti is a thief. We have a question here, which is, John says, does Mrs. Enjeti have any links to promote? Do you have any websites or any Instagram things you want to promote?
Well, my Instagram is called Enjeti Designs. And
there you go.
Next week I may have some links to promote for some products on Fine Art America.
There you go.
I'm not ready yet for that.
You're not ready.
Still loading them.
That was a weird camera angle I just got on that. It was a little bit. Oh, Mike's a little quiet. Yeah, it's turned towards me, so it's gonna be.
I'm also very quiet.
Oh yeah, let me see here. I'll see if I can. Am I incredibly loud? That should be the case. That's usually the case. Let me see if I can adjust this just a little bit, and maybe it'll pick her up a little bit more.
I'll try to talk louder.
There you go. There you go. And Instagram and Enjeti Designs, John, way to go. You're crushing it. So yeah, I'm working on a figure, another one of those art models, PoseSpace, I think it is, .com models, and just trying to get used to working on, poses I don't typically paint, because I've been doing, I've been working on Nosfero all day today, and in addition to working on some other crazy stuff, which I might show you guys in a little bit, but the biggest thing I've been working on is just, getting Nosfero and getting these panels together. And also, I mean, God, they're looking so good, guys. And then, in addition to that, when I have some downtime, I've actually been doing some animation experiments, too. So, there's some really crazy stuff cooking here. We've been trying to come up with a name, believe it or not, or not a name, but so much as a slogan. We went for a walk today, and we were talking, and I was talking about it, and you said, the Heroes of Horror. Is that what you...
it was Heroes...
Because mine was the bad pitch.
Wait, no. It was...
I said...
was Home of the Horror... No.
That was my bad one.
Home of the Hero... Home of the Heroes of... Home of the Heroes of Horror.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And so we were coming up because I'm doing so many, different, kind of haunted, crazy stuff. But I really want to build this thing out. And as, I know what I'm going to be doing for the next, issue of Nosfero, and all of that stuff. But it's just building out a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different horror characters, and, creating this world of basically horror superhero type or supernatural heroes. And that's the thing that I'm the most excited about. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and Horror Monster Collectibles, gotta love it. Dankeschön, American Comics Company, we say vielen Dank, indeed. It's great to see you guys dropping links. Thank you so much for doing that, guys. It is always appreciated. And yeah, man, and Lloyd Burton, speak of the devil, there he is, the main man, my can of spam. It's all about money. A big backer and a big supporter here, and we love you, Lloyd. It is great to see you in the chat, my friend. Great to see you in the chat. Yeah, horror people, not hoo-wah. Yeah, that's right, calm down. No, it wasn't hoo-wah people, it was horror people. But, you know, it depends. In New England, it can easily be misunderstood. You know, it can easily be misunderstood. But it's funny because, you know, it was a lovely day here in New England. I hope it was lovely in your neck of the woods as well. And we were walking about, and we were seeing, you know, just, you know, getting a little taste of spring, although I don't think it's going to last. And I was just thinking about how glad I am to be able to have this to look forward to on Friday, and how much I enjoy streams where people just kind of sit back and do things and kind of invite you guys into a chill space to do it. And so we thank you guys for being here. It's just fun, man. It's fun to do this stuff. And we've been making art together forever, but this is the first time we've had a consistent chance to do it on a stream, and it seemed like an obvious thing to do. And yeah, I've just been checking out a lot of cool YouTube stuff lately, and working like crazy on Nosfero and doing some animation, you know. Yes, and Lady Allie's oh god, I can never pronounce the last name. Funny coming from me. Egg Beater comic is it on Indiegogo? I think it is. Yeah, Indiegogo. Just making sure. There it is. People dropping links. This is Fool Spring, Timmy Mello says. You're absolutely right. It is Fool Spring. And I think I'm falling for it, man. Let's see here. So how long was this walk? It was a pretty... Well, for me, it was a long walk. But it was... you know, by the time we figured out the name of it, it probably felt like a million miles. Or by the time we figured out what we were going for. Because this is the thing, right? So I have been doing my due diligence as somebody who is, you know, obviously taking this quite seriously in terms of the work that we do. And I've just been looking around at, you know, people talk about things like brands and all that sort of stuff. And there's some great stuff to that. You know, there's some great stuff to, you know, to thinking about things in those terms. But what it really comes down to is, do you have a cohesive explanation of what you're doing there? Because I know what I'm doing with my work, and I know what I'm into and what I'm into on this channel. But at the same time, it's like, have I really thought about like how to distill it down for somebody who is here for the first time? And I guess that's a lot of what I do. I think about that stuff all day. So like right now, for example, Nosfero is a painted comic. I know what Nosfero is going to be. But this is the thing. Yeah, I forgot to bring his oxygen bottle with him on the walk. I did. It's totally true. Okay, like Sanguine. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Let's see here, and I've got Sankis, is that right? I'm going to get this totally wrong. Today was in the low 80s. Whoa. That is crazy. Channel member Lloyd Burton, hail to you. It is great to see you here in the chat. That is crazy, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, the weather has been something, hasn't it? And so, yeah, so what I basically decided to do is, you guys have seen me do some light animation and things like that for, you know, for stuff I've done for other channels and for some of the stuff I do when we do Double Impact. And, of course, the intro, like, very light stuff. But I'm working on something a little bit more ambitious, which is taking a character that I've only ever illustrated as just trackpad art in Photoshop. So I was just sketching with a trackpad. And it's like a very kind of like a shadow-like character, very pulp. And I wanted to basically try to create using this character as, you know, my basis for it. I wanted to try to do the shot for shot-ish, because I got to change a few things for the fact that the fight's going to be a little bit more brutal than what you typically would see on that show, but do a shot-for-shot type thing with Batman the Animated Series' intro. So, the classic one from way back, because I looked at it and I said, this is something you can do now. Like, this is not hard to do. If you can draw, and if you have Photoshop and iMovie, you can absolutely make this stuff happen. Charlie Stevenson in the house. How the heck did I miss Charlie Stevenson? There he is. Hey, everybody. Hey, Charlie Stevenson. It's great to see you, my friend. Sanguis. There you go. You guys are helping me get my way through it, man. It's coming together. I'm going to learn how to pronounce that name like I'm hooked on phonics. It will happen. But I was playing around with it, and so I just did, like, one of the shots of the car, I was roughing that in, and then I was just doing like the fun stuff, like the dissolve with. I have a moonlit night, and the moon dissolves, or the Shanth Enjeti art logo dissolves into the moon. I may show that to you guys in a little bit, so if you guys want to see that, I can call that up. Snuggy Jr., my man, how are you doing? What is up? I've got to tell you, I am so excited about that bookmark campaign. Are you going to relaunch the bookmark campaign, Second Chance for people? Because I got to tell you, man, when people started seeing those bookmarks, they were flipping out. They were like, wow, even I was flipping out. When I was on Michael's show, he called it up, and I hadn't seen it yet. I don't know how the heck I missed that. I was tagged in it, for God's sake, but then I am a senior citizen. And I saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I knew they were going to be great. Hail Phoenix. But they were amazing. You're going to be doing this with digital art? Yes, I am. Oh yeah, I love working in digital. I just don't want to do comics in it. Oh, not sure, Shanth Enjeti. Oh yeah, indeed, yeah. I understand. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about it too, right? We'll find a way. I think that we're getting more and more resourceful with this stuff. And if it has to be people doing pre-orders or whatever and setting up your own site, that might just be where we all end up going. We've got channel member. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. It is great to see you. How are you doing? Hello. I'm not in chat, but watching in TV. Sounds great, Courtney. It is great to see you here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting this channel. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. So yeah, you guys let me know, and I can hit play. It's got no audio on it, but I've been cutting it to the theme music for the Batman animated series because I wanted to have something to cut to and get that feel of it. And then I'm gonna have to worry about and figure out the whole having a score for it kind of thing. But I just wanted to have fun because I was thinking about how everything we're doing, as I've put more I'm putting more time and energy. Speaking of Indiegogo, by the way. That's one of the reasons why I've been building out my website for selling my originals, all of that stuff. Stickers. Hey, channel member Admiral Wackass is in the house. Admiral, it is great to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. But yeah, it's a crazy thing because I've been thinking about the website a lot and thinking about Shanth Enjeti art. Let's really focus, because I would say this to anybody who's thinking of jumping into this space. The best advice I would give them is you're going to go through a period where you're trying to figure out what the heck, it's about. Like, what am I about? Like, how am I going to, you don't know if people are going to show up. And then when they show up, you're going, all right, I've been doing this for a while. Where does this go from here? And what you have to make sure that you're able to do is maintain a clear picture of what you hope to accomplish, but also don't get distracted by other stuff going on. Just, say, what do I want to be doing? And if you have an idea that you're passionate about or whatever, and it doesn't get in the way of the other things you're doing, like it can't get in the way of Nosfero, it can't get in the way of the book, then you can sort of experiment and play, because the goal is to make this thing bigger. And, oh, what happened? You drop your brush?
I splattered.
Did you just swear on this very family...
Dang it.
Oh, sorry.
Dang it.
What a disappointment. I thought you said damn it. Anyway, so here's the... hey, Admiral, everybody saying hello. Doing well, the same to you and yours, Shanth and Mrs. Enjeti. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Awesome pieces on your site. Thank you, Lloyd Burton. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, man. I know that you are, seriously a big fan of the stuff I'm doing, and I thank you so much. And a big supporter, Lloyd. And my family and I appreciate it. Yeah, I wish there was a click and tag feature for chat members in this text box. Anyway, hellos to all you people. Yes, yeah. The thing about it is that this is a very, I think they're making it better and better, but, let me see here. Batman, the animated series was really great. Art Deco, I know, I loved it. I thought it was great. I even found the car they based the Batmobile, not Batmeal. That sounds delicious, though. Batmobile on. Mighty Geek Studios channel member. It is great to see you in the house. How are you doing? Let's see what else we've got. You're currently on an iPhone. I gotcha. Hey, Timmy Miller, everybody saying hello. Shanth, Mrs. Enjeti is trying to bring some class to this show. Don't screw it up. Can't stop. Won't stop. She's violated my virgin years, says Cranberry Langers. Hello, Admiral. All right, here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to play you guys just the crazy shots I've been doing. This is in Photoshop and iMovie, just so you guys will know what I'm talking about. Because I actually want to... Unfortunately, all of my hobbies that I do are... whenever I try to do something to relax, it tends to be more work. So here we go. But I want to like practice animation, just like fun, simple animation in my spare time. This is so... and I've used a scene from Public Enemy that I'm going to be rotoscoping figures for animation, so you'll see that in here. But here's a look at what I've been playing around with. It's super short. And there you go. So I haven't had a chance. I just realized I accidentally edited out the explosion that I put in there for that bank, which is really annoying. But yeah, that's the stuff I've been playing around with right now and trying to figure out, like, what do I do? Like, what can I do with this thing? And that last shot is just the character design. And it's a World War I soldier, and it's a really interesting story. And he's got a tin mask, like a lot of soldiers who had severe facial wounds, and it's a really like crazy concept. Yeah, viva la liberté, indeed. And I've got friends who are animators, and I was thinking to myself, well, I can have them take a look and color correct some stuff. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it because I want to make stuff that is cool, and I think that's the next step for all of us in terms of in the independent space, whether it's Eric July, whether it's all of the folks in Comicsgate, including myself, it's Ethan, it's, whatever we're doing, people making toys, people doing all that stuff. The main thing I've been thinking about is entertainment. How do you make entertainment? Totally got some Spirit vibes. Its biggest influence right now, and I didn't get a chance to, I can't really pause on it at this point. But not only does he have a fedora, but there's like this weird shape in the fedora that the fedora cut out. And he's wearing his old World War I helmet underneath his fedora. And so it's like he's got this sort of metal helmet on. It's really crazy. But I've always wanted to do something like that. Hey, Blue Boy, what's up? Who's on the left just got to the show? That is the Mrs. on the left. That is the Mrs. That's Mrs. E. hanging out on the left. And it's good to see you, Blue Boy. How are you doing? Let me see here. All right. I'm losing this race, if it's a race, I can tell you that.
Between us?
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm...
Well, you have stuff to do. I'm just sitting here.
Well, from your lips to God's ears. Let me see here. Here. Move that over. And there we go.
I can't see it, so do I have it in an okay spot?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it in a great spot. You're dead on.
All right.
Excellent stuff. We got 14 people watching right now. Make sure you hit the like on this if you have not yet. Make sure you share it out if you have not yet. It all helps. It all helps us tremendously. The more you guys do, the better it is. Hello, Mrs. E, says
Hello.
Blue Boy. Hello, hello. Yeah, we are having we're having fun, man, doing this stuff. And I want to do more though. Like I want to do more. I want us to take some trips to some cool places. I've got plans for us. I've got some serious plans. So we'll see how they work out. But I think they're going to work out. I'm excited. Because there's a lot of cool stuff to do. And it's nice to have a channel buddy. That's a new thing for me. Been doing this stuff solo for so long. And I just thought, if only I knew an artist that I could hang out with on stream in my house and paint with. And I thought, I think I have an idea.
Yep.
That's how it works. Here we go. I love when I'm painting anatomy with the paper tilted. It's every time I straighten it up, I'm like, oh dear, perspective's off. But what are you gonna do? Because I look at it in the camera, and the camera's got a different angle than I have. It's like if you look at Michelangelo's Da Vinci, Oh yeah, thanks for the wonderful co-ed stream. Hey, listen, we live to serve, Floyd. So you're focusing more on horror concepts and Jetties. Yeah, well, for me, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's where I want to go with this channel is it's horror heroes. Because I love the Lovecraftian thing. I love monsters. I love vampires. I love werewolves. And I just, even this character that is influenced by one of the ideas that was explored in The Shadow, which was He originally talked about the shadow as not having a face and it was believed that was a reference to World War I soldiers, and I've always been really into, World War I history for some reason. It's, a lot of people are World War II or Civil War where I came up, but I've always been interested in it. And so I've followed that time period of the Roaring 20s. And of course, Jimmy Cagney movies and all of that sort of stuff. And I love haunted stuff. I've loved creepy stuff ever since I was a kid, and that's what I want to do. Shanth knew he had an idea by the presence of the headache. You ain't kidding. That's usually how my ideas come. Speaking of family, do the twins have links to promote? Not at the moment. We keep them on lock. Mm-hmm. We keep them on lock. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's but at some point someone might pop on and draw with us. Some point someone might. Darn it, YouTube. What does it say? Shoot, I missed it. YouTube, get your boob in a group. Yeah, indeed. Elbow cough. There you go. American wars are crazy interesting. Yes, they are. They absolutely are. My favorite war is World War IV. Is that right? Yeah, that sounds like a fun one. I thought you were going to say World War Z. YouTube sneezed. Uh-oh. Are we having YouTube troubles? Let's see here. Yo-Yo, Stephen Rockwood drawing. Hail, Shanth. We're talking about you over on Arvid's channel. Oh my goodness. Really? Whose channel is that? Wait, whose channel is that? I'm totally missing it, but that's awesome. Mighty Geek Studios. I don't know what to make of that. Hail, Mighty Geek Studios. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Let me see here. Does the bunny have a channel to...
No, but it has an Instagram.
The bunny has an Instagram, guys. I have news for you. We've officially entered that territory. It's scary stuff. What's up? Oh, Neff. Yeah, Neff. Indeed. It's great to see you, Neff, and I hope you're doing well. Nefarious. Every time I read that, I always think of, the East Bowl, West Bowl, Key and Peele, where it's like, Nefarious, Zach Cheratwix, or something like that. It's so good, man. You'll be waiting for that. My favorite is Civil War. Yes, indeed. Yeah. YouTube did the buffering thing a few times. I got you. Is your Wi-Fi off on your laptop?
Oh, no.
Hang on a second. That might be it, too, because sometimes...
I had it off, but I forgot.
Even if sometimes it'll kick you back on. It's like weird.
It's off now.
Okay, so maybe that'll help. We'll see. We'll see what's up. And there's Nefarious's Frequency Girl YouTube channel. Check it out. Nefarious's Mavericks. I'm getting better at reading English. I talk great English, folks. Oh, my goodness gracious. But what do you call it? But yeah, I mean, the stuff I'm interested in doing... Now that, I've gotten through that sort of earlier phase that I was in where I was trying to, like, what's the logo going to be? Is anybody going to show up? What's my stuff going to be? I was making a lot of different stuff. And as time went on, I started noticing, like, what people were interested in. And then you start thinking, okay, if I'm doing this long term, like in terms of I'm going to be doing a lot of content, I got to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I think... in the last couple of weeks, I've really found some great stuff. Yeah, the 20s are a sweet time in American history, music, art, and fashion, deco. You're absolutely right, Lloyd. And creative Fey illustration. What I find interesting is how World War I set the stage for World War II. You're absolutely right. And, I mean, I've always been fascinated by the history, but ever since Peter Jackson did the They Shall Not Grow Old documentary, I've just been, my mind has been buzzing. Because there's this element of the Roaring 20s and, the whole, gangster kind of thing that was going on there. That was a lot of World War I vets that were coming back were a part of that whole thing, and World War I, the aftermath of World War I was a big part of that. So it's like, I just like the idea of a character who has been sort of hardened by his time in the trenches. And don't forget to back tear in the trenches, by the way. But who's been hardened by his time in the trenches, but also has come back, with it's put it this way, it's not it's not what you think. The story has, okay, I'll give you this one. The story is like a World War I superhero story that has elements of the Count of Monte Cristo, the Prince and the Pauper, and the Man in the Iron Mask. It's got elements of that kind of thing. So it's got a lot of Alexandre Dumas kind of stuff, and it's crazy. Oh yeah, don't forget, if you love vampires, sign up for the Steins Rise of the Vampires right now on Indiegogo. Make it happen. Seems some are determined not to not allow the 20s to return or repeat. I think you're right on that. Yeah, I think it's crazy. You know, it's absolutely a bizarre time we're living in. If the saying is true, may you live in interesting times. That's definitely true. A lot of American World War I generals, grandfathers fought in the Civil War. Guys, the history of that stuff is mind-blowing to me, how close together so much of this stuff is. You know, it's like if you look at it in context, like we went from aviation was stalled in America because of the Wright brothers basically suing anybody who tried to make an airplane, which is a fascinating thing. But World War I brought about such innovative, aviation breakthroughs that, from World War I, 20 years later to World War II, you started having the first jets in combat. I mean, it's crazy to think of how much how much progress there was in terms of those kinds of things. And so you're talking about different time periods. Like when I was trying to pick what kind of machine pistol to give the character, because I wanted him to have a machine pistol, but I didn't want it to be the Shadow, and I didn't want it to be anything else. I decided to give him a Mauser because it is such a bizarre gun. It's a very early World War I, kind of era gun, and it's not like the 1911. It's which kind of looks like everything now. So it's I wanted to do something that was of that time, and of course, it's got the Han Solo sort of vibe to it, but more importantly, I think it's a strange gun. It's a really strange gun. And, we've seen it, Rocketeer hold it, Doc Savage, of course, Nazi characters, all that kind of stuff. But it was sort of like a pulp icon sort of weapon. And a lot of British soldiers used it, and it was a very popular weapon of the time. And it looks really cool. It's got a great look. There's Lauren Enjeti's Instagram, guys. Yeah, pull up that Instagram. Let's see what happens. I think we're over the hump. Reality is coming into focus. Crazy screechers are on the decline. From your lips to God's ears, Cranberry Langers, because I have to tell you, it is nuts. Shanth, I like how Mrs. Enjeti is painting from a photo while you paint her. So sweet. You're right. Oh, you gotta laugh out of her. That was great.
Very kind.
Very kind, indeed. Our grandchildren will look back at these days and look back at us and say, are you all for real? It really was like that back in the day? I think you're absolutely right. And it will be the consistent response for many a conversation. You're absolutely right. I figured that America was fighting jet planes from the Nazis with propeller planes. Yes, we were. Like when you watch a movie like Red Tails, it's actually for all of that movie. I love that the gentleman who made fun of George Lucas for his entire comic career, who does Boondocks, wrote the dialogue for that movie, and the dialogue for that movie is trash, by the way. I was disgusted by how bad and it just was horrendous. Even the pilots had there, the Tuskegee Airmen veterans, were like, yeah, we'd never talk that way. It's like, and I thought, why listen to them? What do they know? So yeah.
They were just there.
They were just there. Exactly. Like, it was something, It was something. Harpies going to harp. You're absolutely right. Well, this is the thing, though, right? When we're doing this stuff, the stuff that we're doing right now, all of this stuff, I look at the people who are keeping their head on a swivel, and it is not easy to do. It is not easy to, to keep yourself, from getting sucked into negativity, because it's there, it's present, and there gets to be this point to where you feel like you need to stay dialed in to things that you really don't need to stay dialed into. They're not good for you. And the people that I've been, really appreciating are the people who spend their time and what they do with their YouTube channels, and even just their entertainment in general, is they build out, websites, and they build out programming that, makes you feel like, you're actually going to have a decent time. World War II set the stage for some problems now, like the conflict between... Yeah, it did. It's a lot of... obviously, all that stuff is going to be very connected, Bring, can't type. I got you. Before that was less from within, less subterfuge. Yeah, that's true. Nazis introduced the world to jet rocket propulsion. They sure introduced us to a lot. No. It's like, good Lord. Well, I mean, and this is the crazy thing, right? This is this battle for. There was this battle for, for technological advancement, and the reason why we ended up where we did, and one of the biggest reasons we came out on top several times over, and if we're lucky, it will be the case continuing, is that our system allows for new ideas more than other systems do, and that's really important. And that there's always an element to these sort of Marxist-based, ideologies, whether it's socialism or communism, that always ends in some creepy eugenics stuff. And I say that all the time. And this stuff was written about in the pop culture of the time. It was written during that time because it was it was thought to be, around the world, a very intelligent way of going about life, and no matter how horrific it is. And when I want to write stories, I see no shortage of great, ground in history to do that. Yeah, Thumper refuses to not be heard. I agree. He's tired of being, locked away. He's the beloved rabbit of the stream.
That's right.
Yeah, we had less advanced weaponry, but think about this, guys. If you look at the French and during World War I, if you look at the French and the German, aircraft war, and the British, the Royal, it's the RAF. They were doing incredible stuff. Those guys were nuts. Okay, those pilots and the soldiers during World War I. That was some like modern warfare mixed with, old, like there were horses in World War I. Okay? Horses and tanks in World War I. I don't think people understand how barking mad that is. It's just, that's how much things changed. Like it was it was, and I guess that's the thing about it. I said to someone when they were asking me about my love of the aesthetics around the early 1900s, 19 teens, World War I and post up to the 20s. I said what I loved about it is the airplanes felt like flying machines. They didn't feel like airplanes. Like you really felt like someone was just putting this thing together and then you were taking them up. That's absolutely right. We did. Never forget. Horses, tanks, and steam. You're absolutely right. Actually, Soviet Russia had more space first than the U.S. and there was, look at. I was just learning and reading about that. Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that ongoing, but the thing that was interesting to me is if you look at the movement, I didn't know up here because Lovecraft talked about it, of all that stuff that was going on in Vermont. Like people, I've got a ABC, I think it was CBS maybe, or ABC News collaborated with Lucasfilm before they were sold on a documentary on the history of that in this country, and it is mind-blowing and terrifying. It was like a global phenomenon, talked about casually. Yeah, the World Wars provided a perfect stage for innovation. World War II had horses and mules too, heavily used in the early days of the South Pacific. Respect to the horses. God bless them. Admiral Wackass, though, bringing a little truth here. Moon ain't real. Can't escape the dome, dog. You're absolutely right. Malin is preaching the good gospel of the flat Earth. I love it. Flat Earth for life. Speaking of selling out, rest in peace. Oh, I can't go there. It's too painful. It's absolutely no. He said, speaking of selling out, rest in peace, Star Wars, because they're just driving it into the ground. There's so many things I love are being destroyed by idiots right now. But I will say this, guys. I've been watching Theme Park Stop, and let me tell you, Universal Monsters Land in Universal Orlando is going to be awesome. So good luck, Disney. They've got Nintendo, and they've got the Universal Monsters. Universal Monsters is enough alone for me to take a plane trip to go down to a theme park down there. Because Disney's been depressing me for a while, which is tragic. But yeah, I mean, I want to see Dracula and Frankenstein walking around. Is your wife a big Star Wars fan? No.
Nope.
She's a big Star Trek fan, but she is not a big Star Wars fan.
I'm not against it.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I'm just not. I didn't grow up on it.
Well, it's a good thing that you didn't have to have your heart broken in that unique way.
But they've destroyed Star Trek as well. So.
Yes, they have. You're absolutely right. They've murdered Star Trek.
Yeah. So I do understand your pain.
Yes, you do. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Star Trek late, and I regret it now. No, no, I'm talking about what they're doing to it.
Know.
I mean, holy cow! If you had ever told me that there was gonna be a show where someone told Picard to shut the F up, I would not have believed you, man. It is painful. It is just painful, man. I didn't like Enterprise and After. I got to be honest, I was fine with Enterprise. I was fine. Star Trek The Next Generation is in a class of its own, right? But man, this new stuff... I like
Enterprise better now than I did when it came out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... at least it feels like something. Citizen Ronan weighing in with Star Trek is superior.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, shoot, man. Nobody can say... John, let me help you on this. Creative Faye illustration. Yes, the Russians are beautiful people. Governments are crazy, though. No one gets to say the Russians are beautiful people with a full understanding of what that means until they study the Russian Impressionist landscape painter, Isaac Levitan. One of the greatest landscape painters to ever pick up a brush is Isaac Levitan. And he influenced Hayao Miyazaki on the film The Wind Rises. And I know this because Suzuki-san said as much firsthand to a friend of mine. And man, if you don't know Isaac Levitan's work, check it out. He is insane. Stephen Rockwood Drawing says the Orville is pretty good. We love the Orville.
Oh, the Orville's the best Star Trek.
We love that.
Isn't Star Trek.
You're absolutely right. What's to say here? In the cinema, you live long enough to see yourself become a social justice claimed political football. You're right. It's true. Isaac Levitan. There you go. John's got it right there in the chat. Yeah, that painter is incredible. Incredible. They, my friend went to a show in Moscow and got me the exhibition catalog. I think it was the 200th anniversary of his death. And they've been doing shows for his work forever, but he defined the Russian landscape. He is incredible. Oh, Razorfist just did a whole thing about how DS9 is underappreciated the other day, and I've got to watch it. I haven't watched the video yet. The original series, yes, is the best of any of the Star Trek incarnations. Citizen Ronan, you're absolutely correct. The Orville is more Star Trek than Star Trek now. Yes, it is. Well, it's got half of the people who originally worked on Star Trek, so yeah. Either working directly... They
wanted to go work for somewhere they could actually do what Star Trek was supposed to be, like Gene Roddenberry's vision.
Yep. And it is a miracle of how copyright law can work that show is able to do.
Know.
Although I think it's not... I think it's done now. I don't think it's coming back for another season.
That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, the Disney merger, when they bought Fox, I was like, there's no way that... Although I don't know what rights he maintains to it, because he signs contracts that are insane. You know? His contracts are like... Yeah, he's a bazillionaire, I think. I think that's the exact term. But yeah, I mean, that was a great show, man. Or the stuff, we haven't watched the latest season because you have to do something to get it. Or actually, maybe we have it and we just haven't sat down and watched it. But
yeah,
we're gonna watch it. Things have been, as you can imagine, pretty darn crazy lately. With just everything. Everybody's got a lot of craziness going on right now. We got a double dose in this house. Shanth, it's a matter of time before Toho announces Godzilla has been on the whole time. The only thing preventing it is Japan culture would reject it. I will tell you this, that I would find even more plausible at this point. Now they're saying things like, up is down and down is up, which makes no sense. Not the giant animal head outfits, although I do love it. The animated series picks up where the original series... Hold on a second. Oh, the animated Star Trek series. Yes, indeed. Oh, must have been the 100th instead of the 200th. He died in 19... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, he died in 1900, and I think it was the 150th, maybe, anniversary of his birth or something. You'd have to, I know the year, but the book is all in Russian, so I can't read it for beans. But it was some anniversary of his stuff, and my friend went there to go buy it and take photos of it, and it is glorious. It is the book is glorious. Let's see here. If you want to be a magic laser samurai in space, then you're Star Wars. If you want to be a space bureaucrat cowboy, you're Star Trek. Well, that is a way to look at it. Star Trek has my favorite line about bureaucracy ever, which is the bureaucratic mentality is the only constant in the universe, which I think is one of the greatest lines ever written by Nicholas Meyer. I think he wrote that one. And I don't think Nimoy wrote that. I think that was Nicholas Meyer, one of the greatest people to ever work on Star Trek. He did some great stuff. I mean, he did some things that were Gene Roddenberry had issues with because he said they were un-Star Trek wise, but he got people to watch those movies. Wrath of Khan is just incredible. I loved the we were lucky enough to go watch Wrath of Khan with our kids with William Shatner doing a Q&A afterwards. I think that's something I will remember for the rest of my life. Just epic. Like, and he was hilarious.
Was
yeah, it was amazing. Well, it was one of your life goals, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it only would have been better if I got to meet him.
Yeah, but that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I said to you, we can buy that if you want to. It was $300 a ticket, right? Or something insane.
It was insane, yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. I love you, Shatner, but we did not have that kind of scratch. That was what it was.
But I got to stand 10 feet away from Ponch and John from Chips.
Yes, you
Comic-Con.
did. At the Comic-Con, indeed.
Like, recently.
So, yeah, that's the same thing. Ponch and John are...
Ponch was still looking pretty good. John,
yeah, he does.
Not so much.
Well, John is, John had to carry the weight. Ponch was always with the, single mom.
Yeah.
On every episode. It's like, your son seems lonely. I mean, let's just be real, guys. Come on, Ponch. What you doing, man? Man, that was a hilarious show. But man, my buddy and I, when I was growing up, we loved that show.
Oh, me too.
Shockingly, I was always Ponch when we played. I wonder why.
Well, Ponch ages better. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Be glad you were.
Too bad he doesn't know the big guy. Let me see here. Garrick from DS9 is my favorite Star Trek character. There you go. Getting into it seriously. I liked William Shatner's movies. Yeah, I did too. Shanth, do you want us to promote Thumper's Instagram? I don't know.
No.
She's like, that's going too far for her. But yeah, I mean, one of these days, he will make another appearance. It always happens. Paramount owns the rights to Star Trek thanks to Lucille Ball. I know, she was the one who greenlit that show, kept that show going. Original trilogy and Rogue One of the Star Wars movies, maybe the Ewok Adventures. I loved the Ewok Adventures when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, I love all that stuff, man. I love art and I love creativity, and I guess I just, like all of you guys probably do, I just want to be transported when I watch entertainment. I don't want to hear people's politics. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. And what's so funny about this and the work I'm doing right now is it's the opposite of that kind of crap. Like, all I want to do is do stuff. Like, I want to do Batman the Animated Series crossed with, with gunplay and Ninja Scroll. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I want to be able to do stuff. Anime and manga is the only art form right now that I think just goes full tilt with entertainment. And that's what I want to see. It's like I want to see stuff that just goes completely crazy. Yeah, it's like, make it happen. Speaking of Ewoks, got some gummy bears calling my name. Hey, listen, Cranberry. Or, sorry, John. Make sure you get down on those gummy bears. I used to love gummy bears. I would get them when we went to Austria to see family there. And then whenever we would go to Disney World because, every time family came from overseas, you had to take them to see Disney World because that was a place you could go back then. We went there, and we would always go to Germany and get the gummy bears. That's what everybody was always excited to get.
We're going to get some fresh water and a snack.
Sounds good. Snack away. That is what we do here. That is what we do here. My goodness. Used to? What the heck? No, it's not locked. Oh, it's just, you just gotta turn it. You're good. Let me see here. Speaking of used to, what the heck? Used to which thing? Gummy bears? Or I still love gummy bears. Chainsaw Man is great. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Okay, you gotta clarify used to, because I still eat gummy bears. I ordered the giant Haribo gummy bear bag, the 5-pounder. See? Some people are in it to win it. I'm just saying. Some people are in it to win it. Let me see here. I hate Ewoks. I wish the Empire extended it to those bozos. You know what's funny? Those were the gravy days, guys. When Ewoks were considered a problem. I mean, look at the cesspool we're in right now. There was a time when Jar Jar was considered the problem, and some people tried to drive that poor man off a bridge. But the simple fact of the matter is, those were the salad days. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to imagine. I'm painting R2-D2 right now, says Citizen Ronan. That's awesome. If I never have to paint the robot again, I will be happy. Robots are difficult. Yeah. Well, I was burning it off at the time. There you go. See? Let me see here. Here we go.
Okay, I'm back. Everybody, calm down.
Calm down, folks. She's back. Sanity has been restored. Let me see here. Okay. Get some red paint here, too. There you go. Oh, I forgot to even mention this, everybody in the chat. Yesterday was Mrs. Enjeti's birthday. Just in case anybody is wondering. So we had a birthday yesterday, but it was a work week, so we didn't get to spend a lot of time together. We got to go out and have dinner, and then we got to have cake as a family. But somebody wish Mrs. Enjeti a happy birthday. It was yesterday, and I should have told you. And I'm sorry we didn't invite you. But there wasn't a lot of time.
So rude.
Yeah, so rude. But we barely could do anything because everybody was working. But yes, indeed. Happy birthday, Miss, to the missus.
Thank you.
There you go. I just realized I had not said that yet. That's right. There we go. Happy late birthday from Admiral. Thank you so much, man. Sean, happy belated birthday, Mrs. Enjeti. Amen. She's a legend.
Thank
She is a
you.
credit to the Force. Love Mrs. Enjeti. I mean, hopefully, right? That'd be kind of a bummer if I didn't. If that's where this whole thing went, Went down dark roads. Let's see here. Yeah, we are now connected for life, Cranberry Langers, because their love of gummy bears. Creative Faye illustration. Happy birthday. We share a birthday month. There you go. Right on. John says happy belated birthday. Let's see here. Happy birthday from Charlie Stevenson. Timmy Mello, happy birthday, Mrs. Enjeti.
Oh,
Cranberry Langers, happy birthday. Look at all the love rolling in on here. Look at these wonderful people. Happy birthday, says Stephen Rockwood Drawing. Shanth, you should have told us that 2 weeks ago. I know I probably should have, Mighty Geek Studios. I'm sorry.
All my students got mad at me because I didn't tell them.
I know. In the words of my hack grandmother, happy birthday, Mrs. E. There you go. Look at all of the love. There you have it. People putting birthday cakes in the chat.
Oh.
Gotta love it. These are good people.
You know what I wanted for my birthday was an emoji.
That's right, you did. Well, that's what I could afford to get you, was an emoji. That's what I did. I said, babe, I wrapped it up, and it was just
and now
a text.
if you type happy birthday on an iPhone, it sends a bunch of balloons.
It
animated
does.
balloons. I mean, what more could you want?
That's a savings. There you
You
have
don't
it.
even have to pay for balloons. They just put them on there.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Happy B-Day to the best artist in the family, says Citizen Ronan. Indeed.
Not at all.
Happy belated from Mighty Geek
But I
Studios.
enjoy it.
Forgot to get her a present. Sub to the to Lauren Enjeti Instagram and Jerry
Thanks.
Designs. There you go. Nice plug, John. Indeed. Wow, that should be between y'all. Let's see here. We're gonna compliment somebody's plug here on this channel. Let's keep it family friendly. Well, we got you a ton of emojis, says Cranberry Langers.
Thank you.
There you go. It's strictly BYOB around here. Bring your own booyah.
Bring your own emojis.
Bring your own emojis, indeed. Bring your own emojis. There we go. All
I
right.
still sometimes type out the smiley face.
I do too. I've got that problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
I think sometimes you want to put in that extra effort.
You know?
Yeah. I want to let people know you took the time to type
Or
it.
you want to put in less effort to have to figure out how to put an emoji on something that doesn't come with emojis.
That's
usually.
true. No, Shanth. There you go. You're welcome. There you go. There you have it, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it. We really do. Every single day we just work, as they say in Snow White, and trying to make stuff that's good and entertaining for you guys. And hopefully it brings a little bit of positivity,
This
energy.
girl has crazy eyes.
Well, this girl has crazy thighs, so here we go.
It's not her fault. I just painted them that way.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at with this one. Just no, it's never the subject matter's fault, folks. It's always our fault.
Gonna tone down these eyeballs.
Yep, that's how it goes. That's gross, Sean, says Cranberry Langers. A little bit. Or you could just think old school, rule school equals the rule school. That's right. Gentlemen, we have to do a drawing of Mrs. Enjeti as Red Sonja. There you go. I think that has to happen, I guess. You're welcome. There you go. All right, look at all these people. Work is... Hold on, I'm missing... Am I getting the emoji? Yeah, work... Oh, yeah, work don't stop. It don't ever stop. It just keeps going. While y'all sleeping, indeed. We work. Now, who are each of those ladies, Mrs. Enjeti, excluded?
What?
Which ladies? I'm totally confused. I miss things sometimes. Eternal. I got you. Work is eternal. Indeed. Let me see here. Cranberry Langer's gross. You guys are too funny, man. You guys are too funny. Let me see here. Alrighty. Get a little bit of paint in here. And let's see. I'm going to put a highlight in there. There we go. Sometimes you mix in a little bit of purple and you can, with some white in there, and you can get a nice cool highlight, and it looks a lot more like light hitting the skin. You know, we talk about that cool in the highlights, warm in the shadows, and I think that's one of my favorite ways to do it when I'm painting flesh tones, you know. Oh, the two pieces you're working on. Mine is a model from PoseSpace, and I think it's either PoseSpace or artmodels.com, because they have two different names. One's for Instagram. And what's your...
mine is just a reference from Google search. I had this idea that I wanted to do, but I'm not talented enough to do it without reference.
I use reference, you know, so...
Well, I just mean that, like, it was a really specific idea. I wanted to do, and maybe I'll keep looking for reference or take some for another week. But I wanted to do a picture, like you were in a room looking out a window. Well, you're behind, and there's a person leaning kind of against the window ledge with their arms and their head on their arm. And I was going to do a black and white drawing of that, with like the sunlight coming in through the windows and it's darker inside the room.
Cool.
But I just couldn't find the reference I was looking for, so I saw this one while I was looking for it, and I just decided I'd paint it.
Yeah, well, painting's kind of more, I don't know, for me it's more meditative, because it's like, how often do you get a chance? Like, you can always take out a sketchbook and draw, but you really got to sit down to paint and make the time, you know? Like, when I was talking about Nosfero the other day, one of the things I was saying to people is it's like, and you know this more than anybody, you get up in the morning, you go to your desk, Graham Nolan's been talking about this a lot, and you're working at your desk. You can't let up, because you can't take it on the run. That's why when I'm relaxing, I do stuff like work on animation just to, like, you know, jog to a stop, because you can't do this stuff in your lap easily, you know. Anyone in chat like Aquaman too? It depends on if we're talking about Cranberry Langers. That's neat. There you go. Let's see here. Question for you and possibly Mrs. Enjeti. How do you actively separate from the "this sucks" critiques of something you pour so much time of your time into? I don't get as many of those.
Nobody tells me my work sucks because I don't put it on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me...
Much.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard, like, when I hear stuff like that now, like, when I was younger,
right.
It was like, the person who said my stuff sucked the most was me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, I have enough art knowledge now to know objectively whether something sucks. You know, like, I always think I can do better. That's just how I am. You know, like, I always want to get better and do better. So I think people who say that your work sucks just are insecure, not very nice people. So I wouldn't take what they said to heart at all.
Yeah.
Because that's not helpful. As an art teacher, I would never talk to somebody like that, because then you just kill their dream, and I think that's a mean thing to do to somebody. If you don't have something to offer to help them be better, then just shut up.
I spend all day, I actually don't get any work done or anything in my life, eating Cheetos on Instagram, telling random people their stuff sucks. Yeah. So I have a little bit of a different answer to that. But I will tell you this, though. On the flip side of that, we both have conversations about, at a certain point, you have to be self-aware enough.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody, if you do truly terrible artwork and you're unable to see it, and you think you are just the greatest thing since sliced bread, nobody telling you suck is going to matter. Yeah. Like, there's different levels. But I would also say that the biggest advice I give to people is to work and to study, because critiques are just talking about artwork.
Right.
You know, like, you got to make it. It's all muscle memory.
And art is, I mean, you're supposed to love it. You're supposed to...
Citizen Ronan, my stuff is awesome. Screw the haters.
You're supposed to be happy while you're making it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's... I mean, obviously there's always a struggle, but, you know, most of the time you should feel, like, proud of yourself and happy.
Yeah, you should get in the zone, and you should figure out why it is you want to make your artwork. For example, we do artwork for money a lot. We also do artwork, like right now, when you guys are with us, for artwork sake. You know what I mean? We do this because we want to paint, and we want to spend time together, and we want to spend time with you guys. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? And it's so there's a lot of different reasons, but the thing, the fact of the matter is, and again, I think Eric July was talking about this the other day, is that when you go and you put yourself, out there online, and he said, and I say this all the time, likes are not people buying things. You know what I mean? They're not money. Like that, I try to go out of my way the best I can, right, to catch the super chats, to catch, obviously, and to catch, say hey to the channel members and all that stuff, and say hey to backers and all that stuff. The reason is because that is such an important thing, right? And I think a lot of people, like, the thing that is really tough is, if you really want to know how passionate people are about your work or the stuff you're doing, is you have to see how invested they are on it. Hey, what's up, Tammy A? How are you doing? It is great to see you. I hope you've recovered from our crazy double impact stream, because I'm still in pain, laughing at some of that stuff. Stephen Rockwood, he's always saying this. Luckily, art is really easy, so it's always awesome. Yeah. Right on, Stephen. What is happening, Shanth and chat? I'm here with Mrs. Enjeti, and we are just painting away. We've got Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 in the house. It is great to see you. Yeah, we're just chilling out and painting here, and that's what we love to do here. That is the fun of this, Ooh, there's some lag. Oh, did it just do the spinning wheel? Let me see here. Hey, oh my God, yes, I've recovered. Okay, good. Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, let me know how the stream is doing, because sometimes if too much is going on, you know how it is. You know how it is with these streams. But yeah, I mean, my attitude about this stuff is, I'm at the point now where, and after a lot of years, that I know how good I want to be, and I know how good I am at what I can do. And so that's a really great place to be confidence-wise, because I've been paid enough for my stuff in terms of, concept art gigs and all sorts of other things. But you also just know at a certain point, technically, when you can just sit down and you can just paint, and when you've got, that sort of ability. I mean, what I do for recreation is really complicated stuff sometimes, and I showed it on Twitter, but it's like, I will always be doing, studies and trying to improve my stuff. And I just have the confidence now. And it's like, it's craziness, it's craziness. Let me see if I got this. Hang on a second here. Jericho Green just sent me a text. Did you get my email? Hold on a second. Let me just see.
I had an old-fashioned screen printer come into work today.
Yeah.
To show us how to do screen printing with the old style. It was fun.
I'm gonna make you carry the stream for a second here. You can feel the agony now.
No, it was really fun. We had all my students got to take a turn doing screen printing, and he brought in all the supplies, and we had a great time. All
right, hey, I wonder if Jericho's watching. Jericho, if you're watching, if you're in the house,
what's he want?
He just wants me to do an edit for him.
Oh, well, tell him you're busy. You're working.
Yeah, it's we're all lunatics here, guys. You know this. You're in our house. You're doing it. Very cool, Mrs. Enjeti. There you go. Yeah, she knows Jericho. She knows how crazy we all are.
I was talking about screen printing.
Oh, the screen printing?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jericho. I never know. He's cool too.
I was talking about screen printing.
There you go.
That we had a visiting artist come in today.
Oh, gotcha.
Teach the students how to do screen printing.
How? Oh, really? You didn't? Gosh, of all the things going on today, I guess that one's
well, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
But yeah, there was a screen printer come in, and the kids learned how to. You can expose a screen and print it, and.
I wish I had gone to your school when I was a kid.
Well, I wouldn't have been there as a teacher, so you really don't wish.
That's pretty meta.
Yeah.
That's true. Although I think Chris would have been great.
Maybe.
Love Miss Chris. Let me see here. One of our friends, great teacher, really nice, nice and supportive person. Always supportive of what we're doing. Yeah, your mentor. Much love, Chris.
Don't think she's watching, but
I know, but I like to say it out to the universe. That would be wild, you know.
I don't think she spends her time watching comic book streams.
Yeah, we gotta say hi to Jericho Green. I don't know if he's chilling in the chat, but he should be soon. We love him. Yes, the very cool was in reference to screen printing. All right, I got it.
I knew it.
I know you knew it. I know you knew it.
I knew it was for me, not you. Ha ha.
Look at this. Look at this abuse that I'm taking. Look at this abuse. It's terrible. It's terrible, this abuse. It's crazy stuff. But it's cool. Always better to be meta. That's right. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing too, right? Is if you go through YouTube and you really edit and pay it, like, you know, jump on them when it's like, I'm not interested in this, when they start throwing things at you, you can track down. The algorithm is always trying to force some stuff on you, but you can really track down channels where they just talk about making cool stuff, and that could be your entire feed, you know. And I just think more people, like, it's like, if you take that time to do it, it's so worth it, man. It is so worth it. That's how I found Townsend's. I was looking for interesting history stuff, and I'm always finding cool stuff. I know a lot of you guys tell me about streams to check out, and you're like, check this stuff out, it's awesome. So that's how we find a lot of stuff. My phone, what is my phone blowing up for right now? Oh my lord.
It's kind of like when you get on the phone.
When is what?
Oh
wait, no, she can't be watching. When is Mother's Day?
Mother's Day?
Yeah.
May?
Okay, just making sure I have crazy lead time. I just got contacted about a job from somebody that we know who's a grandfather. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh.
And so.
Yeah, you got a little while there.
Yeah, I do. Thank God. When it rains, man. My boys are trouble. My boys trouble. Lord Ravener, the man, it's great to see you. Tasting history with Max Miller. Yes, I've heard a lot of really cool stuff. Painting R2D2, I've come to the conclusion that there are two types of painters. Those that care about straight lines and those who say, good enough. I'm the latter. I hear you, man.
Me too. I never use a ruler.
Shanth would be flirting with Mrs. Enjeti if she was his teacher. Yeah, I'm flirting with her now.
Yep,
so that's what I do. You know, that is what we do. Hey, Shanth, check out Post 10 Unclogging Drainage Ditches. Actually, I might be into that. Let's see here. Good deal? Yeah, there's always a good deal. You know? Man. Yeah, I mean, guys, listen, this is the coolest thing about being in this space, is so many of you guys are so passionate about so many things. It's almost like it exponentially multiplies how much cool stuff we find out about and how much stuff there is to look at and find online. Different artists, like I was watching Richard Friend's, channel where he was talking about different artists and going through their work and talking about his experiences. I mean, there's some cool people out there doing some great stuff. I was watching an unboxing of the Frank Frazetta book, which I missed, unfortunately, but it will, hopefully the second printing will be out soon, because they only did 6,000 for the first printing and it sold out. So,
oh, it did?
Yeah, so it is what it is. But the good news is that I think they're doing a second printing on Tashin. So, but I mean, I watched somebody flip through the book. It's like having it. Let me see here. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to do a wash right there and let that, and this is the cool thing about acrylics. You do a wash like that, and as it dries, the colors start coming through. Is there anything I can do, Mrs. Enjeti, to increase my grade in work you need done? Yeah, well, I think she gets enough of that already. Always gauge the distance before you leap. Good thinking, Shanth. RE lead time. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, post 10 is hilarious. There you go. What happens when you make a mistake? Cuss and blame Samson. No, I mean, when I make a mistake, I just work back into it. There are no mistakes, as you know. Right. Only happy accidents. Drawing character concepts for school personal projects. Very cool, Creative Faye illustration. I really want to get these mini Godzilla figurines. Oh, are those hyper detailed ones? They are some really cool ones. The way I paint: straight lines, paintings, tape, metal rulers, slide guide, or a wall laser measure device all work great for various reasons. Yeah, I mean, painting straight lines for me is about, at least when I'm doing it, is about speed and, just using your arm to do it, because you can get a straighter line when you move fast than you can when you move long, and that's the toughest thing. Yeah, well, Shanth has it in. Absolutely, I do. I absolutely do. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm glad to see you painting, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I guess.
If I'm talking to myself, it's going to get scary.
Well, I mean, do that often.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
Well, I like painting.
I do.
Those paintings.
No, I know. It's like you haven't.
I go through phases.
You do it in phases, but I know you never get a minute to, so it's nice to see you doing it. I meant it in an accusatory fashion.
I feel like I need to defend myself.
I know you should.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, I just I don't get to demonstrate stuff as much at work as I used to, because I teach a lot of classes with computers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should say I don't get to demonstrate
with traditional media
as much as I used to.
Shoot, you do more demos than most people do. That's for sure.
That sometimes.
Yeah, no.
Well,
you know what was cool though is, my buddy Nick, who teaches college, was saying that so many of the portfolios coming into art school now are increasingly traditional media. Yeah. So there's a really big boom in this generation of artists coming up to work traditional.
A lot of my students hate the computer.
Yeah, I mean, they
avoid it.
Well, they had a pretty traumatic experience.
No, they're very computer shy. Some of them, they like their phones. They don't. Yeah. But they don't really know how to use the computers as well as you would think they would.
Yeah.
People tend to assume that they know how to use the computer just because they're kids, and it's like, that actually isn't true.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't always know how to use stuff.
I'm actually shocked about that,
Yeah, it's the workflow. They don't know how to, save things and move things over, and it's really funny. Channel member Ellie Munoz, it's great to see you. Hail waffles and wafflettes. Indeed. And I like both. Yes, indeed. Hashtag waffle odds. You darn right, man. I love the waffles. Great, by the way, Enjetis. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The hyper-detailed ones, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, let me go back here. Mrs. Enjeti should create a romance comic for CG. Well, this cover, this is like a cover right here?
Yeah, that's right. That's the romance cover.
I can't claim it, though, because I'm copying somebody's online artwork.
There you go. Well, it certainly doesn't stop some people, I'll tell you that. We're going to graphic novel for my MFA. This is not
going in the portfolio.
There you go. Which will be an excerpt from my dark fantasy story, Silver Road. Very cool. Yeah, I mean... Oh, I'm so glad that tree teaching thing helped. Yeah, I mean, guys, that's the thing about it, right? That is fun for us with this kind of stuff. And I really do think that was kind of the genius of what Bob Ross did, where it was like he got people to understand that you don't have to, how do I put this? You don't have to this is one of the diseases I think that people suffer from right now, which is making what you love your work. Like, you have to figure out how to take what you love and turn it into a way to make money. And sometimes you gotta have things that you just enjoy, like comics, or movies, or any of it. I like boxing, but I don't want to be a boxer.
Right.
I just want to have things I enjoy. And I remember when Mrs. Enjeti started knitting, which is a hotbed of insanity sometimes. But they're worse than comics, I think, for a while there in terms of the intensity. But when she started doing that, the thing that was interesting to me about it was that I was talking to her about it, and she said over and over, I do not want to turn this into work. I do not want to turn this into work.
People always say, oh, because you knit me a sweater, I'll pay you. And it's like, no, you can't pay me enough because...
This is my one hobby.
Well, first, it's my own, it's my relaxation, but also they don't understand how many hours it takes to do such a thing.
Yep.
And they don't want to really pay you for what it would cost.
Yes. Absolutely.
And, sadly, that's the case. I mean, I wish it was possible, but hand knit sweaters, that's too expensive. Nobody can afford that.
Yes, of course.
Well, some people can.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's an interesting thing because
but I do it for the love of it.
What we're doing right now in terms of drawing is we're painting or whatever, is we're doing something that is relaxing for us. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm just gonna move this because I want to get the face.
I'm just about done.
You think you're just about done? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, stop before you kill it. You know the rules.
Think?
I think it looks great.
Can I get a critique?
It's crap. It sucks. I was supposed to say it sucks. Mm-hmm. You know?
You know what? You could say that, but I don't believe you because I know my worth.
You do? I know my truth.
I'm living my truth.
I'm living my truth.
I found a sticker in my classroom that said, "Live your truth."
Oh, Jesus.
Just sitting on the desk.
Sister Mary Frances.
I took turns sticking it on different students all day.
It's terrifying. I'm sorry, I have a headache
Somebody would come up to me and say something, I would give them the sticker. Here, live your truth.
That's terrifying. They love me. I know. They should love you. You're a great teacher. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love kung fu movies, but I wouldn't want to be a Shaolin monk. Yeah, that is definitely true. So I've decided to be a Wu-Tang priest. That's right. I thought you were going to say a Wu-Tang priest, which would also be cool. Knitting takes a long time. Ellie Munoz, if your body is a temple, aren't you already a monk? Very true. If Samson were 185 pounds, then yes. Cranberry Langers. Yeah, I will tell you that the thing for me about all this stuff, about painting, about all of it is bring as much beauty as you possibly can bring into your life. Bring as much positivity and keep positive people around you. People, by the way, not people whose brains are turned off, but people who are passionate about these things. And it's funny, when I think about the only time I ever tell a student they suck, or ever have told a student they suck, typically, was when they refuse to take a compliment. And I go, fine, if you're not going to take my compliment, then let's throw it down, but this stuff is good, so get over it, But I always look at stuff, and there's always, how do I put this? The ultimate lack of compliment I could have for somebody is not being able to critique their work, because you have to have something working in order for something to be wrong. If the thing just doesn't work at all, you can't critique it. And you can always think of something you could help somebody to say. I did it for, 18 years at that level, and I'm burnt. I want to just make artwork, and I want to work my tail off doing this and talking to you guys, but it's the way it is, Yeah, the truth will hit them really hard. Ellie Munoz, laugh out loud. I'm like a hermit monk, says Ellie Munoz. That's how it is. Can't you zoom in on the face? Living my truth. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, it's not that good. It's not worth zooming in on.
Let me just see here. Hold on, dang it. There we go. The trick with this arm, I can move this around a little bit, get the angle a little better. So this right here, and I also realize we have the technology. Hang on.
To lift things up.
Dyslexia here. There you go. Let's get that focus. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we're getting it done. I'm getting here's the thing with my boys. Let's talk about my brothers here. Jericho and Gabe, we text constantly, and it is freaking hilarious. I just love it. Let me see here. I say to Carrie Smith occasionally, first they came for the knitters. No, you ain't kidding. We watched that whole thing. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm like a hermit monk indeed. Let me just make sure I catch up. The truth will hit them hard, and don't dismiss a positive person who is occasionally negative, as for they might be going through something not of. John, I hate you for saying that. All right, so no. Yeah, but that's the other thing about it too, right? Is that when I think that's one of the best things you can ever learn from people, which is that people have bad days. There's how do I put it? If somebody is always having the greatest day of their life, it's going to make me a little bit nervous. Yeah. And if somebody is always having the worst day of their life, it's going to make me nervous. Do you know what I mean? And that's the key, man. That's what it is. Old school Zoom. You guys know I have to do an old school Zoom on it, guys. But yeah, guys, it is one of those things to where when we're working and we're doing this stuff, and we're putting this stuff together, we're going to keep doing this show. We're going to keep hanging out with you guys and having a fun time and just doing some sketches and sharing this whole process with you guys. And thank you guys for being here for this stream. We appreciate it. I love that you guys show up, and we'll have a lot more fun doing this kind of stuff and painting. Anything from you, Mrs. Enjeti?
No, I don't think so.
All right, guys.
I'm ready to go to bed.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you so very much. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you are subscribed. and make sure you have a wonderful Friday for us, because we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate everything you do. We will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll keep streaming. We'll have more for you. And thank you so much to all you channel members hanging out in here. You guys are the best. I will have your names in the credits in a second, and if I miss anybody, let me know, because I try to keep it as up to date as I possibly can. You know, that is what it's all about, guys. Having a good time with y'all. So, all right, guys, we will see you soon. Thank you so much, and take care, everybody. And as always, I must say peace and stay gold. Take care.